Nicholas Lou Saban Jr., better known to the world as Nick Saban. Nick Saban started out his career playing at Kent State as a defensive back, and from there, he went on to actually coach at Kent State for a small stint, and from there, he bounced around from football program to NFL and back and forth for some years, until 2007 when he took over the football program at the University of Alabama. And well, years later, after 6 national championships and 9 conference titles, after coaching 4 Heisman Trophy winners, Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Devontae Smith, and Bryce Young, well, Nick Saban has decided that he has left it all on the field for the last time. He has decided that he wants to hang his hat after 17 seasons at Alabama, at the University of Alabama, and after multiple years of coaching, well, I think it has all finally come to an end. And we're going to talk about it because, well, I'm from the state of Alabama, and, well, Nick Saban will be sorely missed. Let's talk about it. With that being said, welcome to Normieville.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to well, we call you normies.
Well, as I said in my introduction, like I said, Nick Saban has coached at many places. He coached for the Cleveland Browns for a while, Houston Oilers, Michigan State, LSU, Miami Dolphins, Ohio State. He's coached at a lot of places, like I said, NFL and college. He was I think a defense coordinator. He's been a defensive back coach, offensive linebacker coach. He's been a assistant coach, all of that. He's actually been a head coach, I think, once in the NFL. Yeah, once or twice. But once in Miami, for Miami Dolphins, rather. But Nick Saban had, I would say mediocre success on his way up to coaching for Alabama. So he has a lot of experience. He did some things right. He did some things wrong. Leading up to 2007 when he took over the program at Alabama. And well, he hit his stride finally in 2007 when he took over the program. And he has brought respect to the SEC. He's brought respect to the football program for Alabama for years to come. I don't know who's going to follow in his footsteps. But like I said before, this video is not about that. This video is about Nick Saban retiring for the game of football from the University of Alabama. And like I said, he'll be sorely missed. I am from Alabama, and I knew this day would come one day. And well, it's sad.
No.
But I will cherish the championships and the good memories he brought to the state of Alabama, to the young men he coached that are now, some of them, professionals in the NFL. And I hope that he goes on to bigger and better things, or he gets to relax at home and enjoy his life. And, well, like I said, we will remember him. As you can see here from the ESPN, it says Alabama football coach Nick Saban announces retirement. We got to play the sad music for this. Alabama football coach Nick Saban announces retirement. Today, 10 January, now 11 January of 2024. Yes. Nick Saban is retired. He gave a brief statement. I will read it. And, well, like I said, we will remember, right? Let's read. Nick Saban, one of college football coaching greats, GOAT, by the way, who won 7 national championships and turned Alabama back into a national powerhouse that included 6 of those titles, announced his retirement Wednesday after 17 seasons in Tuscaloosa. The University of Alabama has been a very special place to Terry and me, Saban said in a statement. We have enjoyed every minute of our 17 years being the head coach at Alabama, as well as becoming a part of the Tuscaloosa community. It is not just about how many games we won and lost, but it's about the legacy and how we went about it. We've always tried to do it the right way. The goal was always to help players create more value for their future, be the best player they could, and be more successful in life because they were part of the program. Hopefully, we have done that and we will always consider Alabama our home, indeed. Now, Nick Saban is from Virginia. I don't know where he's going to go after this, if he will stay in Alabama or he will go on to make his last stop somewhere else. But Nick Saban will always be welcome in Alabama for the prestige he brought to the state. Being that Alabama doesn't have a pro sports team in any league, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, we don't have a pro team in our state. So the state lived and bled and died Crimson Tide. Now, of course, we also have a team, the Auburn Tigers, but we don't care about them. We're talking about the Crimson Tide. They're the only people that matter in the state of Alabama, just to be honest with you. They're all Auburn fans, but they all get crushed by Alabama, okay? There's more of us than there's them. So everybody in the state of Alabama, we lived for college football season, myself included. And so I would have the Alabama hat. I have one right now, it's Alabama. I represent Alabama to the fullest. And like I said, it's partly because I love the state of Alabama. That's where I'm from, obviously. But also, Nick Saban started winning, and it brought more spotlight to Alabama, at least during that part of the season. And so it brought more respect to the state of Alabama, and it brought more, he said, more pedigree to the college program in general. Saban, 72, just completed his 17th season at Alabama, which ended in their loss to eventual national champion Michigan in the Rose Bowl. He won 208 games, tied with Vince Dooley from Georgia for the second most wins in a single school in SEC history, behind only Bear Bryant, who won 232 games in his 25 seasons with Alabama. Now, I would also say that not only did he bring respect to Alabama as a football program, but to be honest with you, he also brought respect to the SEC in general. Teams like LSU, Georgia, and other teams, a lot of them did have a bit of pedigree already in the SEC. But when Nick Saban won, other teams actually started winning too, like Georgia, like a lot of these other teams. They actually started winning big too, I would say, behind Alabama. So even when Nick Saban leaves, the SEC has a name for itself now that people can't erase. People have to respect the SEC now. Every league, the Pac-10, the 12, whatever, all these other factions of college football have to respect the SEC now. And I hope that will stay that way, whether it's Alabama or any other school in the SEC. Now, don't be wrong, I hope Alabama can continue to win post Nick Saban career. But without a doubt, the SEC is a force to be reckoned with. Quote, simply put, Nick Saban is one of the greatest coaches of all time in any sport. We got to give some applause to that. Indeed, he is in any sport. Alabama athletic director Greg Bryan said, he is the consummate coach, mentor, and leader, and his impact is felt far beyond the football field. While his time as our coach may have come to an end, his legacy will live on forever. What an honor it has been for us to have a front row seat to one of the best to ever do it. Saban was insistent on telling his players first that he was retiring before it got out publicly, and did so Wednesday at 5 p.m. I'm glad he did that. That's respect. Wednesday at a 5 p.m. ET meeting, sources told ESPN Chris Lowe, a regular team meeting had been set for Tuesday but was rescheduled for Wednesday when some players weren't able to make it in time because of weather issues. Saban and his wife Terry spent a long weekend at their home in Florida. Ooh, that's nice. Before returning to Tuscaloosa on Monday. Saban spoke to the players and staff in the team room for about 15 minutes, informing them that he was retiring. Then he told that Bryan wanted to talk to them. Saban left the room while Bryan was speaking and talked to his staff some more afterwards. For just about everybody in the program, the timing of Saban's announcement was a surprise. He was interviewing potential assistant coaches via Zoom an hour before telling his players he was retiring. He also had interviewed some candidates on Tuesday, according to sources. Didn't want to continue down the road after finalizing his decision to retire. So he's also already been interviewing people to take his spot. And I hope that whoever takes it will be competent, a good leader, what have you. Of course, nobody will be Nick Saban, but hopefully somebody can still come in there with a winning attitude and winning pedigree, and Alabama can continue success. All right, let's finish up. In a meeting Wednesday, Saban thanked his players for the way they bought in and told them that he had thought out his decision carefully. But with the way college football has changed in terms of the transfer portal and tampering, NIL being used as a guise for bidding for high school players and transfers, and the recruiting calendar being extended, he told his players that the right time for him to retire he told his players that the time was right for him to retire. Sources told Lowe that Saban had grown increasingly frustrated with, quote, what college football had turned into. He's all about team building and team developing players. And now the only thing that seems to matter is who can get with NIL and who can get the biggest deal. Now, I'm not going to read the rest of the article because it talks about his accomplishments in sports and how he came up from coaching in NFL and other places before he got to Alabama. I'm sure you can look that up on your own, and some of you already know that. But, yes, him and, to be honest with you, other coaches are getting tired of what college football has turned into. The recruiting's different now. They have the NIL thing going on now. I mean, a lot of you people have seen Colorado and Shedeur Sanders and everything, what they've done, and a lot of other players are starting to do in college football and other sports in college, that they pretty much get to do the same thing that, the professional sports players get to do. And so that some will argue that's kind of soured the innocence of the game now they're not just playing for, to get, to move up, to go to the pro sports. Now they're playing for the money and all that too. So, and then other things have changed. So just like me in the military and other corporations, that people that have been there for a long time, they see the writing on the wall, they see the writing on the tea leaves and all that kind of stuff, and they know it's time to step off, to get off the boat. And well, Nick Saban felt it was time. I respect that. Things are changing, and he didn't want to change with it, and I respect that, because when I retired, I didn't want to change the military either. I saw where it was going. I could have stayed in a little bit longer, but I didn't want to. So at 20, I punched my ticket in and I got out. So again, I hope that Nick Saban moves on to bigger and better things, or he gets to relax and enjoy his life. I appreciate everything he did for the University of Alabama and for the state of Alabama in general. I appreciate him for his hard work to get to where he was at. And I hope that the University of Alabama will continue their now tradition of winning and playing great football. Okay? Roll Tide! Thank you for attending another episode of Normeville. You know me, I'm just a normie here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports, entertainment, and politics, mostly sports. Let me know what you think about Nick Saban retiring from the game of football, and the SEC pretty much wide open now. Down in the comment section, and please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.